build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come let us work hand in hand, because this is our land. Come my brother, come my sister, and let us build a nation together. So much of things that we need to see about. Surely I do have to spell them out. Cause you know as well as I do, the only way is put in more effort and less play. Because now, more than ever, we must show.
Now, more than ever, we must show our patriotism. We must show our commitment to develop Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. I want to welcome you to the Hub. Again, another opportunity that you and I have to talk using social media and the radio to connect. I want to start off by saying it's amazing on the other side. We are watching a lot of drama within the NNP. And I never forget when the same NNP used to criticize the NDC when the NDC was going through a very rough period. There were problems within the NDC at the time, and the NNP made a very bold statement. They said, you see them? They're not ready to govern the country, because if your party is not in order, if your party is not united, if your party does not have a plan to move Grenada forward, it doesn't make sense. So they made that claim, they put that claim forward to the Grenadian people. At the time, Peter David was a part of the NDC. At the time, you had a number of people, the Glennis Roberts, the Joseph Gilbert, the, I think Stanford Simon was there at the time, the Carl Hood, the Ali Gill, the whole squad, the Michael Church, and we can go on and on. But they made a very strong statement, the NNP, at that time. And people fell for it, and they believed fully well that what they were saying was indeed at the time right. But now we are seeing a similar thing, or even worse, happening to the NNP. They are fighting over leadership. And there is a lot of faction within that organization now. And Keith Mitchell doesn't want to give up the leadership like that. He wants to go down fighting for it. So, Bud Braffett came out. That's Dr. Bud Braffett. And he expressed concern with what is happening within the NNP and the whole stranglehold that Keith Mitchell has over the party and the whole leadership. He runs the show. The NNP is Keith Mitchell, and Keith Mitchell is the NNP. Well, who tell Bud Braffett to come out openly and speak about what is happening within NNP and how undemocratic in my belief based on my conclusion, right? I concluded based on what he said that how undemocratic things are in there. And it seems as though Keith Mitchell doesn't want to go anywhere. He's fighting to hang on because he believes that Peter is not better than him and Emlyn Pay is even worse. So they're still fighting for leadership within the NNP. They are not united. The NNP is not united, and the NNP is in chaos. And we don't want a party that is, not stable. There's instability within the NNP. They don't have one leader. They are fighting for leadership. We don't want that kind of chaos to run any country. Because the NDC is united, the NDC has one leader, the NDC is organized, the NDC is focused. The NNP is in a real mess. But I am not surprised that Bud Braffett was uninvited to that executive meeting. Because look, if you are a part of this organization and you go in the public and say something that Keith Mitchell doesn't like, bet your bottom dollar you're in trouble. Your time within that organization is numbered, right? And it is clear Keith ain't like what was said, and Keith has a stronger hold, total control over the NNP and over the executive of that party. So we are seeing it playing out in the public, and people are wondering, well, what is happening here? But I want to say this. There are a lot of people who are coming out now and talk. And they're talking about the NNP, and they're talking about Keith because they don't want Keith to be leader. And they're saying all manner of things about him and the NNP because they want him to go, get out of the way, and they want somebody else who could really put up a fight. They think that he was responsible for losing the last election, and his chances of winning is very, very, very slim in any election to come. But don't believe that they like the NDC or they like the Deacon Mitchell-led administration. Don't believe so. These people don't like the NDC. A lot of these people you see commenting and talking and going on all different programs and condemning Keith and vex and angry is because they are seeing the next election as a real beating on Keith Mitchell and the NNP if he ever runs as a leader of the NNP. Right? They want NNP to come back. That is what they want, They want NNP to come back. So, they want to see how they could move Keith Mitchell as fast as possible to get somebody in there that they believe going to put up a fight. That is what is taking place. But don't believe that they like the NDC or they like the most honorable Deacon Mitchell or they like to see what's happening in the country. No, they want to see NNP in power. And they will do everything for that to happen too. So the first order of business is to remove Keith. And they know that's the first order of their business, to remove Keith. But for us who are looking on, we should encourage Keith Mitchell to remain there. We should not say anything bad about the guy on what he's doing, right? Let us encourage him. Let us cheer him on. He has a big ego. Let us cheer him on so that he can hang on and stay there because he is an asset to us, but a liability to them. So I hope you understand what is at stake here. Bud Braffett, uninvited, and the publication saying that they throw him out, they kick him out, they this. We don't know what happened, right? I can't say. But I am simply saying to you, I have no pity, no sympathy, no mercy for none of these people. I want to encourage Keith Mitchell to remain there and fight for his party. Don't go anywhere. Remain there and fight for your party. It's your party, it's yours. It's your party. Don't let them come and take it away from you. Because it is very clear. People who are politically savvy, you must know that these people are talking about Keith and they have article this and publication, all kind of publication in newspaper. The newspaper online and all kind of things they say about Keith. They want a party and they believe if they could get him out and get some new blood, they may put up a fight, a challenge come the next election. That is exactly why they are so furious. That is why they are so angry. They're angry because they're not getting their way. Keith Mitchell not giving up the leadership for them, right? You're not giving it up for Peter, you're not giving it up for Emily, none of them. So as a result, they're on all platforms. Bud Braffett came out. Don't believe that he liked the NDC or he liked the most honorable Deacon Mitchell or he wants good for the NDC. No, he's still an NNP. They uninvite him. They don't want him in a meeting. He's still an NNP. Hamlet Mack came out, bumping his gum again about Keith and saying all kind of stuff. He's a Peter man. He's a Peter boy. So you know what he's doing. Peter Wickham come out and talk. He's a Peter man. You know what he's doing. You hear me? There are others who came out and talk. A lot of them come out and talk. My good partner Anthony Boswin and a whole pile of them. Don't believe that they love NDC or they want NDC to, for Anthony Boswin, maybe, because I think he used to be NDC sometime in the past. Maybe, but generally speaking, nearly all of these people, they're NNP and they want NNP to win. But they believe as long as Keith is there, NNP doesn't stand a chance. So as a result, they mounted all kind of thing, plan, putting all kind of thing in place to get rid of him. They don't want Keith there. They want somebody new and fresh with a new team and so on. But I am saying to Keith, stay right there. Don't go anywhere. Fight for your party. And if they want to come and take it, mash it up. Mash it up. You hear me? Fight for your party. It is your party, and no one should be allowed to take it from you. I think Scholar sang a song regarding mash it up, right? That's Scholar. Right, so it's what it is. Stand up for your party. Good? And fight for it. Fight for your party. You're looking for the song, download it. And that's it. And that's it. Right. So, I cannot play that song. That song is protected by YouTube. They have certain copyright to it. So I cannot play Scholar song or else my video will pause. Right? The video stream will pause. So I cannot play it. The only how I can play it is if there's no copyright surrounding it. Right? So it's a nice song, but I cannot play it on my program. So I am saying to you, it is clear The people who are angry, who are talking about Keith and Keith this and Keith that regarding the party and no convention and no that and no that, don't believe that they like the NDC. Don't believe that they want to see the NDC survive. They talking because, okay, me and you all, right. They talking because they want to see Keith Mitchell out of the way. Yeah, I have a disclaimer, but even if you put a disclaimer, once you cannot download it and so on, and you play the song, it will pause. You would not see it. You will not see the pause. You will not. So right now you're going to hear it. When I upload my video, it will be that portion will pause. So it's 5 minutes, 6 minutes, you're going to pause. So nobody going to hear anything for 5, 6 minutes when I upload the video. So I cannot do that. I would not do that. It doesn't worth it. So I am saying to you, do not get confused. There are some people getting confused and getting all excited. These guys are not going to support NDC. They're not happy with the NDC. They're still NNP. It's just that they want NNP to come back. But they believe for NNP to come back, Keith must go. And Keith is saying, no, I'm not going. I'm going to stay and fight for the party. So that is what's taking place. All right? So don't worry with them. Stay focused, understand the mission, and stay focused. You have to understand the mission. There are a lot of people who don't understand the mission and what is at stake. Let us continue to put fire under the pot. Put more wood under the pot in the fire. Because if it was the other way around, it would be a problem. All right? Nice. So, yeah, I have the song. I have the song, but I cannot play it because there's copyright to it. Even if I play it in audio, what would happen? The words will be recorded on the live stream, and once I upload it on Facebook, it will be a problem for me and the video. I don't want that. I prefer not to play it. All right? Good. So the St. George Northwest constituency branch, don't forget they have a fundraiser coming up. All right? A rum runner cruise, and that would be very, very soon. All right, yes. So they have like a video and thing, I will start playing it. But the cruise is on the, let me get it for you. All right, let me just transfer that. Let me just play the music and share. Let me see something. All right, let me see if I can get it on the platform to feature that because I think it's important. So there are a lot of constituencies with a number of activities coming up. The women's arm of the NDC, St. David branch, they have an event coming up too. So I want to tell you about that too. The number of events coming up. Let me see here. All right. So the St. David women's arm, they're having steel pan, live music, bouncing castle. All right. Breakfast, barbecue, lunch, all the pop-up market. Good. And that's on the, what's the date? Let me get it here. The date is somewhere here on the flyer. What dates? All right, breakfast and barbecue. All right, June the 1st. June the 1st, Natural Walks Ground. Breakfast from 6:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Barbecue from 12 noon on until 5 p.m. Market is from 7 a.m. Shop local. And they tell you what you can get in the breakfast, the lunch, and everything else. So it's at the Natural Works Ground. Please go there and support them. All right. So let me now play for you that little ad from St. George Northwest. constituency branch. It's a little video that they did. Let me feature that on the program for tonight too. All right, let me do that. All right. It's important to showcase the different constituencies and what they have planned. Okay.
When we outside, it's an ocean of love. All that we align to the stars up above. Let we dance now, take a chance now with me. And we go jump till morning. Look, the moon gone sleeping. Tell them we not leaving till the last drop of a canal is.
So even this ad with the song, I am not able to play it because it will pause when I'm doing the upload. And any video, anybody who is doing any streaming, that would happen to them. I have a disclaimer, but still, that would be problematic for me, that song. All right? But the cruise, let me just get this specific here to tell you when is the cruise, right? Because the ad is, I can't feature it. Let me get the date for you with the cruise. I was looking here for the date of the cruise. So it's Ramona 2, boarding time, right? Right, so it's Wednesday the 29th. Wednesday the 29th of May. That's Wednesday the 29th of May. Aboard the Ramona 2. And boarding time is 7 p.m. Barbecue included. It's $60 for a ticket. $60 for a ticket. Music by 2 popular DJs. Wear something white on entry. Once you're bored, try to wear something white. All right? Then I think there was another event. All right? Let me see something here. There's a number of things coming up, a number of things coming up. And I would promote it. Just that it's so many, right? So, all right. My good friends of Carriacou and PT Martinique, they have, what is it here? A floral segment. Let me see. All right, let me get it here. Well, that's June. That's a little while from now. All right, that's in Brooklyn. I'm going to talk about that soon. That's a little time from now. Right, so let me just play a piece that I thought GBN did good service to. GBN played a piece regarding what the Most Honorable Deacon Mitchell had to say about the vehicles on the road versus what Linda Straker wrote on Now Grenada.
Records show over 60,000 vehicles on Grenada's roads, and Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell is of the view that the number of private vehicles intended for personal use is not sustainable for the island's roads, infrastructure and environment. The Prime Minister, who is also Minister of Transportation, expressed this view as he announced government's plans to embark on an initiative that will result in a reduction of the number of private vehicles for personal use on the nation's roads.
Rolling back the amount of private vehicles that we have is one of the policy initiatives that the transformation of the transport sector is meant to achieve, because we recognize if we do not do so, the continued unsustainable path of simply having more and more vehicles on island is just something that is not going to be sustainable. And in any event, the average Grenadian's income doesn't permit him to purchase a private vehicle, so he will still need public transportation.
According to Prime Minister Mitchell, with a functional transportation system, the need for private vehicles might be lessened.
So the idea here is that the more we can have a public transportation system that moves people en masse, where one vehicle can move more people, it's a more efficient system. The unit cost for the system becomes lower, and the carbon footprint becomes lower.
He pointed out that some of the vehicles are often abandoned on the side of the roads when they have expired, and the government must then do the cleaning up.
Vehicles, like all of the machines, have a shelf life. And when the shelf life comes to an end, what happens to the vehicle? What happens to the oil? What happens to the engines? What happens to the parts? And I think you've seen MIT, for example, has been trying to deal with the enormous pileup of derelict vehicles that are on our roads. It's not attractive to us. Mosquito sites. It's not attractive to our tourism. It's not attractive to the environment.
The Prime Minister urged Grenadians to invest their money in other means of improving their lifestyles.
So what we are seeking to do is to encourage a system where, as one of the commissioners pointed out, that we do not waste our resources. And the wasting of our resources includes our private citizens, because if you find yourself buying a private vehicle simply because the public transport system cannot meet your needs, it means you're probably making a decision that you prefer not to make, and it means you are going to spend a lot of money simply trying to maintain that vehicle, insure that vehicle, pray to God it doesn't meet in an accident, just so you can get from point A to point B. When oftentimes those resources probably could be put to better things that you can invest in: your education, a house, a business, etc.
Reporting for GBN News, Beverly Telesford.
Beverly Telesford there. So I played that because I think it's important for you to listen to what our Prime Minister had to say, our beloved Prime Minister had to say regarding that. Because now Grenada, when they put up that piece, too many private vehicles on the road, government is to embark on an initiative that will result in the reduction of the number of private vehicles for personal use on the road. When people read that, they kind of got a different idea, all right? And that caused a lot of people to post negative comments. All right, government is to embark on an initiative that will result in a reduction of the number of private vehicles for personal use on the road, because according to Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell, who is also the Minister of Transportation, it is not sustainable to have the number of private vehicles we have. We have the road, and for this purpose, I am distinguishing between private and public, not who owns but anyways, I am simply saying that that article, in my view, should not be headed that way. All right? Because what the Prime Minister was trying to see or achieve was to say, hey, we could carpool, but if we have a good public transportation system, some people will, once it's reliable, some people will go with that public transport and leave their vehicle at home. So they may have 3 vehicles and they may have 3 people in the house driving one, everybody driving one. But if the public transportation system is good, then you're going to use that and not have your private vehicle on the road to cause a lot of congestion. So yes, there will be people with a private vehicle on the road, but if you have less, right? So the public vehicle could hold more people. A bus could hold more people than a car. So I think that is what he was trying to say. So let us improve the public transport system, and that would ease up the congestion. That would have the workers in the hotel industry who fighting for a bus to go home, they can go home on time, wake up in the morning and go to work on time, and go back home on time. And when people finish work, they don't have to fight to get a bus, because you have enough bus to take them home and take them back to work. That is exactly what he was trying to say. All right? It's a small country, but we have to try to address these problems step by step by step. You cannot address everything one lash, one lick. What he's saying, step by step by step, we're going to address it. But I think when these so-called journalists go to these press conferences, the headline sometimes is misleading, right? Too many private vehicles on the road. PM, too many private vehicles on the road. The minute time you see that, somebody would start thinking all kind of stuff, right? I am simply saying we have to be careful what we write, what we publish out there. But tonight I want to give you the opportunity to call in and speak about anything. You are free tonight to call in and speak about anything that you want to speak about. South St. George, they have a kick sale coming up, The South St. George women's arm of the NDC, they have a Mother's Day kick sale Saturday, the 11th of May. That's this coming Saturday at the Camahan Park. And, semi-fruit, $60, cherry, $50, marble, $50, chocolate, $50, carrot, $60, buns, $20, banana bread, $20, cinnamon roll, $5, bread pudding, $10 and $15, potato pudding, potato pun, $10 and $15. All right. Also, different sizes and slices will be available. Pre-order yours today on 449-8854 or 414-4429. So if you want to pre-order, if you want to order your semi-fruit cake, your cherry cake, your chocolate cake, your carrot cake, and so on, your buns, your banana bread, your cinnamon roll, and so on, the NDC Women's Arm in the South, they're having that sale at Camahan Park on Saturday, this coming Saturday. All right? This coming Saturday. So if you want to pre-order, the number is 449-8854 or 414-4429. I want to assume that they will start early. I'm not seeing on the flyer the time that they're starting, but I want to assume that they will start early. So if you know the time, folks, the folks who are behind this, members of the Women's Arm in the South, send me the time so people will know the time it is starting. I know St. Andrew, they have a event coming up too, St. Andrew. I know Ron Reddit's constituency, they have some Mother's Day event. So once you send it for me, and when I am on, it's good for you to send it while I'm on, right? As a refresher, as a reminder. So if you send it for me before, do not believe that I'm going to remember it, because in my WhatsApp, I have hundreds of messages. All right? So if you know you send something for me to promote, send it again for me while I am on, so I can promote it for you. That is important. Okay? But folks, it's an open line. The number is 415-4817, 415-4817. It's an open line giving you a chance to free up. It's an open line giving you a chance to free up. Right? So that person is correct. The minister, that's the Honorable Lennox Andrews. He has agro-processors meeting on Tuesday the 14th. That's Tuesday coming. Tuesday the 14th of May at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. All right, broadcast room starting at 3 p.m. All the agro-processors, you're invited to be a part of that. All right, starting at 3 p.m. on Tuesday, the 14th of May. So it's an open line. You're free to talk about anything you want to talk about tonight. 415-4817.
Welcome to the Hub.
No, not that. We want this here. Everything seems to be going wrong tonight.
Discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come, let us go hand in hand, because this is our land. Come, my brother, come, my sister, and let us build a nation.
So the cake sale, South St. George Women's Arm, that is, it starts at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. That's when they're starting. So let me take that first call. Good evening, caller.
Good night. Firstly, before
Lower the volume. Hold on. Lower the volume of whatever is playing behind.
Sorry.
No problem.
I'm trying. Sorry. Yeah, first before continue, I want to find out: is it a marijuana, a drug, or a herb?
Well, it's a hub. It's not a drug. It's a hub.
Okay. Because I think it's something better to educate our people on, because we get tied up.
Yeah, it's not a drug.
Yes,
it's a hub.
yesterday I was listening to a program on Shaggy, and a caller
Said that
said
there's a
something.
photo with the most honorable Deacon Mitchell standing close to
Yes,
a weed plant,
yes.
right? And weed
And
is
I listened to this woman.
yes. Well, they're
And
NNP. Most of them who call and talk about that nonsense,
I
they're
know,
NNP.
but I'm just saying that we have to clear the air with people. Now she said that she don't talk about the purpose of these things or the reason why it's it, the use of the same hub that didn't come. She's trying to say that he promoted it. Okay.
Yeah, it's a hub.
Secondly,
It's a hub, and
I remember
and it will be
when the
legalized
Minister of
here. It will be decriminalized and legalized in Grenada for medicinal purposes. Like most countries around the world, Grenada is not going to be left behind where that is concerned. We're in 2024.
And they're not saying it's a hub, they're saying it's drugs.
Of course, that's how the NNP surrogates and pundits put it.
And it's big people who complaining and say they have sense and that thing, and they're misleading people.
Yeah.
And the second thing I want to say, I remember the Minister of Agriculture was out in the field digging and planting spices. I heard nobody talk about that.
Right.
So I'm saying now we pick and choose what we need to talk about. And even when we pick and choose, we're not even coming up with the right information.
And that's how the NNP operates, my brother. They would concoct stories, they would mislead the public. But look, the youngest child has a tablet or a phone or access to the internet. So this nonsense about marijuana this and marijuana that, anything in life that you overuse or you misuse, it can cause you to get sick. It can cause you to be all kind of stuff.
And
the hub, there are people who are using.
I'm not saying nothing to these people. Just leave them misleading people.
Well, that's how Shaggy and GT and a couple of those guys do their program.
They are nonsense that people are supposed to look upon and say, okay, we could get information, because when they speak, these people don't speak. They speak to the world.
Yeah, but my
the
brother,
world is so close today.
You're correct,
it's not like years ago.
You're correct, my brother. When people are free to just call the WFM Video Calls program with Shaggy and say anything, right?
Yeah, and they're misleading people.
Of course. In my belief, I believe that is what's happening.
Because I was listening, and this man, I was together with a Pakistani man. He haven't got a clue what Grenada. And this man said, this person talking stupidness. You understand? And the person don't know Grenada, nothing,
Right.
But they misleading people, and I think it's time that Grenadians should stop that and forget about party and this, something is wrong, something is right, and don't pick and choose. And then the things that they're supposed to come out to say, it's just buried.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
I don't want to see long give somebody a chance.
Great.
It's just misleading, and people laughing at them when they come with this silly talk.
All right. Thank you.
But
yeah, marijuana, cannabis, that's a hub. People drink that. They use it for medicinal purposes all around the world, right? They make a whole pile of stuff out of it. But the white man taught us that it's bad. They taught us that it's a drug. That's what they did. And they're using it for medicinal purposes. They're using it and they're making millions and millions of dollars out of it for recreational and medicinal purposes. And countries all around the world, it's legal. But it has to be regulated, of course, and that is what the government is seeking to do. So it will be decriminalized, it will be legalized ultimately, but it will be regulated. It is simple like that. And that's where a lot of jobs will come from, especially for the young people. So don't believe that it's a bad thing. It's not. They taught you that it's bad, but it's not bad. No. And now we are learning that it's not bad, because they taught us all the years that it's a drug and it's a drug and it's a drug, but it's not. Let's take that call. Good evening, caller.
Hey, Cam.
Hi, good evening. How you doing?
I have to talk to you,
Yeah, but, no problem. Go ahead.
but I'm going to talk on the issue on the program this evening
No problem.
with
Go ahead.
with the press conference with the transportation situation. What that woman, that journalist, well, she's always like that as far as I fall in. She always have a few questions to ask and a few questions to ask, and many times it doesn't even coincide very much with the program that's going on. But what people have to remember, what people have to notice is that here in Canada, they have the same thing where the government are asking people to keep their vehicles at home and take public transport. There, there are a few benefits to it. Number one, the air pollution because of the exhaust and so on. It, by keeping it at home, it creates cleaner air in the environment. Two, economically, it's beneficial to the owners of the vehicle with saving gas and all of these different things. Because many times, some of us have to drop our pet or wives or husband, children, whatever, at the subway station so that they take the train or they take the bus close to them to travel to work. Because in every instance, it helps the country, it benefits the owners of the vehicle. So this woman took this thing completely out of context. Well, I don't think she took it out of context. She deliberately propagandized. That's what she did. So sometimes Grenadians have to learn to look at things for themselves. And I have to say, thank God they have you there to open the eyes, because I think some of us in the diaspora gets it way before the people back home. And and so on, what is actually going on. One other thing I want to mention, and I'll leave you, is it's a question I have to ask. Why is it that the opposition, particularly, I think it's what's the woman named Dr. Modest or something like that, and Representative Lewis, why is it that every time they speak, they they would say, "Oh, but we started this, we started that." The question I want to ask: why? What do they think they were there for? To do nothing? Because it comes across that way. I shouldn't have to do anything. So you would have to start everything for yourself, because everything that is mentioned is like, oh, we started that, or we had this in the pipeline, and so on. It doesn't make sense to me. And I think it makes us as Grenadians look sometimes dumb when they say things like that. Because you go into government to do a job. And it's a continuance, and the job would continue if you lose power. So I think it's time that they stop doing saying things like that. We started this, we started that, this was there before, and whatever. Every government leaves something behind for you to continue with. And it makes them look dumb by saying that. Otherwise, vote me in, and we'll just go sit down there and take government money and get fat and do nothing. So if someone else comes in, they would have to do what they have to do to start it on their own. Grenada is going forward very quickly. And I think because of the speed of the NDC government and the amount of things that they are doing, it shocked them. So they have to look for something to create an atmosphere of confusion in the minds of those who are small-minded enough to fall for it. And that's all I have to say. You keep on doing what you're doing, man.
All right. Thank you.
Great.
Well said.
Good
Thank
job.
you. Thank you very much. Well said there, caller. Again, the number 415-4817, 415-4817. It's an open line. You are free to call in and talk about anything you want to talk about. The number 415-4817. You can call me via WhatsApp, or you can call me straight on that particular number, 415-4817. All right? Remember, my 10th anniversary is coming up on the 31st of May. We're going down to the Trade Center to celebrate my 10 years in radio. All right? The tickets, 50 EC. I have them. And even if you cannot make it, buy a couple tickets as a form of appreciation. WhatsApp me. Same number, 415-4817. You can call me up and we can arrange for a couple tickets as a form of appreciation, or you can buy it and give it to somebody, or you can buy it and come. Okay? That's Friday, the 31st of May 2024, starting from 4 p.m. until 10 p.m. at the Trade Center. All right? Feel free to talk, folks. If you want to call, you can. We still have 9 minutes remaining in the program for tonight. 415-4817.
Together. This also goes for every Trinbagonian who want to live in a foreign land. Now is the time to come home and do something instead of staying out there and freezing. Because now, more than ever.
All right, so again, it's an open line. We still have about 8 minutes left in the program. If you want to speak about anything, you can. If you have an event, party-wise, in a constituency, you want to promote that, you can. You could call and promote that. You're free to do so. Again, the number 415-4817. 415-4817. It's a free opportunity that you have to talk.
Prime Minister and Minister for Infrastructure, Honorable Deacon Mitchell, visited the site of the $16 million Cliff to Woodlands Roundabout project on Tuesday, accompanied by the road project team and the Ministry of Infrastructure officials. The project is being undertaken by Consolidated Contractors Company Caribbean Incorporated and is scheduled to be completed in 14 months, promising enhanced connectivity and improved transportation efficiency. During the visit, Prime Minister Mitchell engaged in discussions with both the project team and the contractor on site. GIS spoke with Prime Minister Mitchell, who is optimistic about the successful completion of the project.
I'm happy that we finally gotten the work to commence and to get off the ground. The work, from what I can see, is progressing well. We only started about a week ago, and you can see that there's significant excavation activities that are taking place. The key thing, this is a challenging site. As you can see, you basically have precipice on one side, rock on the other side, and you've got homes that are constructed very close, almost in the roadway. So it is a site that is going to require significant engineering skill. It's going to require cooperation by the residents of the community, and I want to take the opportunity to thank the residents for cooperating thus far. We appreciate that it's an inconvenience to them because the road is blocked off, and you can see why we have to block the entire road off because of the type of excavation and the type of equipment that's there, and public safety is our number one priority. So I wanted to walk and just get a first-hand view of what is taking place, to greet some of the residents who are home during this time and to speak to them about the project. As I indicated, because of the difficulty of the terrain, some of their properties will be affected, and so we want to be able to make sure that we keep them in the loop. We work with them to minimize the disruption and to try and get the work done as quickly as possible.
Prime Minister Mitchell hinted at additional features to be incorporated into the Woodlands Roundabout and the Cliff.
There are two things I want to point out. We will essentially be remodeling the Woodlands Roundabout, and we'll be creating a roundabout at the top of the Cliff Woburn Junction. So this is major work. As you appreciate, we have a major coming together of roads at the Cliff. You've got Woburn, you've got a side road next to Woburn, you've got Munjaloo, you've got the Calavini Main Road, and obviously here we have this Woodlands Road. So it is major construction work, but we need to do so because, as you can see, there's a lot of development going on up the East Coast all the way up to St. Patrick. We have a lot of 40, 20-foot containers that are on the road, and we need to make sure that we make the road as wide as possible.
Raul Gonzalez, project manager of the Consolidated Contractors Company Caribbean Incorporated, provided insights into the project's current status, highlighting the earthwork phase as a pivotal stage in the construction process.
So far, we have started with the earthwork along the project. We have 3 major points to develop a big earthwork. This is the first one. The second one is by the next curb, and the third one is by the roundabout. So we are actually hitting 2 of those 3 major points with the earthwork. And then, yes, as you said, Nawasa and Grand Lake are involved too, because many poles must be relocated, and then a water line too. Nawasa already removed all that side of water line. That is why we can walk in that side now. So actually, it's the walk what we are carry out, yes.
After the earthwork is completed, the construction of the retaining wall will begin.
We have to make a new option to build the retaining walls. We have to include the safety barrier first before the wall construction. So the wall construction is the next steps after the earthwork. So very soon we will start with the retaining walls.
Project manager Gonzalez affirmed their commitment to delivering a road design that prioritizes durability and longevity, ensuring the infrastructure's resilience for years to come.
The design, including the new pavement structure. I mean, we have to replace the sub-base, we have to replace the base, and then we will provide a new drain system to that side, and we make sure that the slope of the road and all the water be collected with that new system. Then in the right-hand side, we have to provide a lot of retaining wall, concrete reinforced, to help the stabilization of the road and then to save all the houses we have at the place.
Right. So I decided to play that little piece there, because people tend not to be all into the calling. They would listen, but not call and free up. All right. So I want to thank the folks who called, but it's a free opportunity that you have to do so. Again, the number 415-4817, 415-4817. We have just about 2 minutes left in the program for tonight.
We must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come let us go hand in hand, because this is our land. Come my brother, come my sister, and let us build a nation together.
Right, so folks, we're going to pull the curtain down tonight. It's kind of quiet, but sometimes it's like that. I want to wish you all the best. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Take good care and bye for now. I'll be back with you tomorrow, God's willing, starting